What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Picking Knowledge. Today, we'll be discussing Neptune and some things you should pay attention to. Make sure you're not doing if you have a prominent Neptune or you're going through a prominent Neptune transit. So let's get into it. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, and feel free to drop a comment, let others know how you like it. Check out my website, GeminiBrown.com. I got tons of readings on sale right now. Till next time, peace. Now, this episode is inspired. I feel like it's the universe just called me into like, hey, speak on this. And I've told many people, who work with me intimately and stuff like that, would really see, at least my perception of seeing through your third eye. So at this point in my journey, I have a connection with the universe where I perceive something, I witness it, and I understand. And in a nutshell, that's using your third eye. But remember, everything is perception. You really want to keep that in mind, particularly with dealing with Neptune. So anyway, if you have a prominent Neptune, you're a heavy 12th house person, or you're going through a Neptunian transit, one of the things that Neptune deals with is illusions, dreams and illusions. I guess the trick is figuring out, how to live your dreams without illusion. Okay. Right now, particularly with Neptune being at 27 degrees Pisces in its own sign, this promotes a lot of delusional or illusional things to manifest within the reality. So if you're a person experiencing this transit, you'll want to really be mindful of the illusions you tell to yourself. We all have delusions. Neptune correlates to dreams and illusions. Now, more times than not, when a person becomes delusional with a dream, it's when this dream hasn't materialized ideally how they wanted. So part of their delusion will cover that. It'll keep them from Saturn, the reality. This is so important, y'all. And also keep in mind, Neptune rules Pisces. The opposite sign is Virgo. And Virgo deals with reality. What is efficient? What works? Okay? Pisces it's not. It's the idea. It's the ideal. So one thing that I have seen, I see this with my mind's eye all the time. There are people lie to themselves all the time. So I'm going to give a couple of examples of how delusional thinking manifests and is perceived by others. So, like I said, this can be something that you tune into yourself and be like, damn, I wonder if I do this, because we're all guilty of doing these things in some way. Now, first things first, when it comes to delusions, I've seen that that type of thinking is strongly correlated with another Neptunian and Pisces trait, which is feeling victimized. And typically when a person is caught up in this type of thinking, when they're expressing, let's say, an unfulfilled dream, their story will involve some victimization. So a very simple example, I was going to make it to the NBA, but when I got to college, the coaches were hating on me. They didn't give me any playing time. There was a whole bunch of favoritism stuff going on. Oh, I quit this job because I just don't think this person liked me. I was doing so good, but this happened to me. This will always be there. Now, I'm going to bring this back to Saturn, y'all. Bring it back to Saturn. When you're dealing with Saturn doesn't care. Saturn says that was supposed to happen. I was seeing how determined you are or how much you want it. Now, I got to tell y'all, it's as simple as that. With me working with people, I feel like people want to hear more Neptunian things. No, tell me some elaborate, deep meaning thing. But no, it's as simple as that. We're all going to feel victimized in certain scenarios, but when you really understand Saturn, you realize that these are ultimately tests. I like to always think of like, there's a meme of someone like digging for gold, and they're like, you never give up because you never know how close you are, right? And then ultimately, like someone else doing less work than you've done, but reaching the goal. Okay, so that's one aspect of delusional thinking. I didn't reach my dream, or I reached my dream, but this happened to me. Real success is like, this happened and I overcame it. And just, food for thought, Capricorn represents the climbing of a mountain. We call success, the saying, the ladder to success. So just know, climbing a mountain ain't easy. And the same could be said for the spiritual journey. It's actually a lot easier when like climbing a mountain. It's a lot easier in the beginning than after you got all the miles in. It's actually, we'll get to a point, it's like, it's actually easier to go back than to keep going to the top. But that's Saturn, right? Next type of delusional thinking deals with experience. And this is a real funny one, but I'm glad I have this platform to explain. So, with me being a 12th house person, I often say this. The 9th house and the 8th house is where you debate. And other placements and things. You debate because you really believe my perspective is the one, right? Or you're really tethered to that particular perspective or God, if we're speaking in religious terms. In the 12th house, you have understanding. You have an overview of the whole thing. To me, arguing is so low vibrational. When you have an understanding that no one's really right, there's perspectives, right? So what I'm getting at here with there's a delusional thinking with experience. Okay, now going back to Saturn, I'm Gemini Brown. I am a astrologer. I am a teacher. Now, with both of those things, I underwent training, right? But more importantly, more than the training, I underwent thorough experience. I've been an astrologer and teacher for over 10 years now. People who are stuck in this form of delusional thinking and this is really a large collective influence with Capricorn and Pisces right now. People think because they do something that they've actually done that thing. Under the guise of Saturn, that's not true. I'll give an example. Let's just say a person goes to a construction job. They go for a construction job. Let's say they go for 1 day. Let's even say they go for a week, 7 days. In this day and age, a person is liable to say, oh yeah, I work construction. Now, on a technical level, this is true. This is true. But in an expanded way, this is not true. You tried construction, but you didn't complete being a construction worker. You have no projects to really show, oh, I remember building this type of building was like this, and then compared to building this. If the next part of this, going back to Saturn, is age. I'll tell you this, as a teacher, I think it's crazy that we teach algebra in like 6th grade because 80% of children aren't actually grasp what they're doing. We can memorize to take this test and, all of that, but you don't really know what you're doing. Okay? With this type of delusional thinking, these are the dreamers. Neptune's a dream. It's a dream. Like, no, you have a dream about what it's like to do that, but you haven't really went through the rigors of what that thing entails, which takes time. All right. I'm gonna give another example within this. People do this a lot. And feel free, if this is you, like I said, you could be learning something. People take any experience as the full experience, as I just said. Let's go with the idea of someone speaking about interracial dating, right? And let's say person is a black man. It's like, hey, have you ever dated a white woman? Delusional person may say, oh yeah, Yeah, I dated plenty of white girls. I dated like 3 white girls when I was in middle school. A person like me, I'm like, did you date any in your 20s? Nah, it's fine. That wasn't for me. Now, this invalidates no one's experience. In a technical sense, you did indeed, at a point in your life, date a white person or this person of this race. But in actuality, you have not understood what it's like to date that person from an adult perspective. And like I said, the big difference here is the experience, having things to compare to and like have a realistic understanding of the particular thing, in this case, a relationship. So a lot of people do this. A lot of people will say, oh yeah, I dated this type of person, or, oh, I had this experience when I was 15 or 16. I'm here to let you know that the things you experience as a child are completely different than when you've experienced them as an adult and you've really put in time. And I could keep going. Like a person who's actually codependent may believe that, oh yeah, I was single for half a year. That's the longest I've ever been single, and really believe that they know what it's like to be alone. When we're really dealing with Saturn in reality, this is not true. These are just a few things that you can really, really pay attention towards in your thinking and reasoning with yourself, and correct these things, because Neptune operates in an unconscious way. Like I said, we all have our little stories, but you grow and you evolve when you become determined to not listen to that story that you know isn't the full story. So it's just honesty. All right? So this is my interpretation of Neptune. I hope you guys enjoyed this perspective. Feel free, chime in, comment, let me know. Like this video, share it. All right? Until next time, peace.